the bench out there would be my choice. That would be my choice. And in the evenings, in April, I'd just put on a coat and maybe some earmuffs if it was a cool evening, and maybe some long johns or whatever, and I would come out here. That's before daylight savings, so if you came out here at 6:30 after dinner, 7 o'clock, and sat out here for the last half hour of light as it started to get dark, you'll hear all kinds of stuff out here. And for example, in the fall, when everything seems to be shutting down and the birds have migrated away and there doesn't seem to be much going on, in October and November, and then especially in early December, come out in the evening and listen for the owls. That's when the great horned owls are actually pairing, and you'll hear them calling all the time. And they are the earliest nesting bird. They will lay eggs in January, in the middle of winter, and then the young will hatch out, and they'll be fledging in the springtime.
What time is best to hear?
Great horned owls usually pair up in from between late October and early December, and in the evenings you would hear them calling. And in the summertime, end of June, July, when a lot of the birds are beginning to shut down from singing, come out in the evening and listen for screech owls. It's very easy to identify. You won't hear anything that sounds like a screech owl if you hear it at night. It's a very haunting song.
Can those be in the middle of the night as well?
Yes.
I've heard that, yes.
Yeah, the first time you hear them is right at dusk, typically, and they'll respond to a call. I was walking our dog. We live in a fairly rural area, and I was walking our dog down. We live on a dirt road. One evening, in July, and heard a screech owl, and I stopped and I answered it, and I got 3 more that came in. A lot of the owls are very responsive to calls. So, any other questions? Yes.
It's not a question, but where I lived before, I had an acre of woods, and every May there would be, I think, a grosbeak.
Oh yeah.
With red and
Rose-breasted grosbeak. Beautiful.
Get way up on the top of the tree and scream, "Get away from my place!" I mean, it was such a loud call.
Yeah, there's just an unbelievable number of birds. Too much sun, I can understand it. Yeah. Birds are the most widely studied vertebrates because they're conspicuous, they're beautiful, and they're easy to survey. And more is known about bird ecology than for any other vertebrates on the planet. So, and that's why so many of the nature shows you see have birds in them. Because they're easy to census and they're beautiful. They sing.
Okay. I'd just like to say, unless there are other questions, you can ask Dr. Keller.